Hi, today we're in the historic mining town of Randsburg, California. Established in 1895, home of the famous Yellow Aster mine and the Goler mine up here in the Rand Mountains. So let me tell you about this place. So the town of Randsburg is situated in Rand Mountains off Interstate 395 up in Kern County, somewhere between Ridgecrest and Kramer Junction. Elevation 3,504 feet above sea level. Total area of 2 square miles. Only about 70 people live here today. And Randsburg is formerly known as Rand's Camp. It's listed as number 938, California Historical Landmark, known as Rand Mining District, or the Yellow Aster Mine, or the Kelly Mine. Here we got the historic city jail. Some old mining equipment. So this is skip. And this is equipment that was used in the Yellow Aster mine to move materials through the incline shafts. And it was recently retrieved by Rand Mining. When you visit, you're likely to find kit foxes, jackrabbits, cottontails, hawks, eagles, coyotes, some other animals that live in Randsburg all year round. We have Costa's hummingbirds, they visit in the summer. Tarantulas and even desert tortoises migrate through the area. So gold was first discovered around here in 1893 at Goler, somewhere between Red Rock Canyon and Randsburg. 2 years later, 1895, a party of prospectors found placer gold at the foot of Rand Mountain and soon traced the source of gold to an outcropping near the top of the mountain. This would be known as the fabulous Yellow Aster Mine. Eager miners quickly came to the site and established Rand Camp, named after the gold mining region of South Africa. They would eventually produce more silver than any other mine in California. Also, an estimated $60 million in gold was taken out of the mines during the boom years. The Yellow Aster mine produced about $25 million from 1895 to 1933. But for the first year, things were pretty slow. The town only had 13 buildings, and most of them made from canvas. But by the summer of 1896, so many promising claims had been filed, news got out, and the rush began. The town had 1,500 people and renamed itself to Randsburg. The same year, the post office opened. In 1897, there was a population of 2,500 people and over 300 buildings. In its heyday, Randsburg was home to over 3,000 miners and their families. So up along the main road, you just go for a walk, and they have little photographs and monuments that we'll take a look at as we learn more about Randsburg. Here we have the post office, established in 1896. And here's the famous White House Saloon. Here we got the famous Opera House of Randsburg. It says post office, just an old sign. In 1898, the Randsburg Railway opened, ran from Johannesburg to Kramer Junction. Mines increased, more people flooded into town. On January 1st, 1898, a fire broke out and practically burned down the entire town. By 1900, the town boasted 3,500 residents, had a 30-stamp ore crusher, bank, churches, and theaters. The mine closed in 1929, since it was no longer profitable. As the decades passed, the gold mines of Rand District faded away, but there are small spurts of activity here and there that kept things going through the Depression. Today, this is a tourist and entertainment spot. Most people visit between spring and fall to avoid the summer heat. The annual Western Days celebration is in September and hosts lots of events like gunfights, panning for gold, bands, dances, and various vendors. Looks like here's where they celebrate the old Western Days. These are all facade buildings. Sheriff's office. You got suds and a shave. Check your spurs at the saloon. And we even have a bank. And here's the back of our western facade. The assay office. Right. There's a few movies that were filmed here. This is the site of the 1940 film South of Suez, starring George Brent. Cowboys and Aliens in 2011. Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens in 1979. Avenged in 2013. And Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town in 1989. This is the historic Rand Desert Museum. Commemorates Harold Beck, the inventor and prospector. He was one of the original owners of Rand Desert Museum. He lived in Randsburg. He's also one of the first to mass market dry washers. His dry washers were known by miners from all over the western states because of its efficiency in capturing small gold. So thank you, Mr. Harold. Here's the old cottage hotel established in 1930. Still open today. If you want to come in for a room, or a beer, or a soda, or even a lunch special. They would eventually, of course, some of the key sites you want to see here in Randsburg. We have the tiny jail, rusted out cars, general store with the famous Black Bart floats from the old-fashioned soda fountain. We have antique shops, a real western saloon, opera house, two small inns, the infamous joint, hole in the wall, with mason jar lamps lighting the outside of the facade, and the Rand Desert Museum, one of the first museums of Kern County, built in 1942. We've got old rusted machinery equipment, 5-ton steam locomotive that was even used in the Yellow Aster mine in the 1900s. And this here is the Cottage Inn. The old cottage hotel. We're at the old hitching post at the cottage hotel. Here's the entrance and lobby to the hotel up in Randsburg. Here we have the old schoolhouse of the town. Here's the Hole in the Wall Mercantile, established 2001. We got a news store here. This guy's for hamburgers, hot dogs, ice creams, and sodas. And here's the famous general store, where you get your famous Bart soda. And this guy here is for sale, if you'd like to buy it. All right, so up here, this is the Consolidated Gold Mine. So after the Yellow Aster mine was discovered in 1895, a lot of these smaller mines popped up all around Randsburg. And this is a blasting or hard rock blasting mine. You got to blast out the rock. to get the ore to process the gold. So here it looks like a nice old mine, probably a blasting mine. And they get the rocks, and then they move them down here to this conveyor, dumps it in this vat, where they process the rock, try to get the ore out, and extract the gold. Right across 395, we have a whole bunch of these old mining equipment scattered around the hillside. Here. Get some up here. And this is like a whole processing plant. Some old buildings out there. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tour of Randsburg, old ghost town up here in the Rand Mountains, and it's a great place to visit, especially during the Western days in September. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.